1906, a Conservative Party split by internal divisions was ousted by a Liberal landslide. For the new Liberal government, the problem of poverty was high on the agenda.
What's interesting from my point of view is that the Liberal landslide coincided with the rise of a new kind of newspaper, the Express, the Mirror, the Sketch, and they were changing the way politics was reported. They'd realised the power of the photograph, and they'd exploited new printing techniques to splash photographs all over their front pages. It made the newspapers more popular, more accessible. Readership doubled in just 10 years. And so for the first time, you got these photographers hanging around the corridors of power, of Parliament, Whitehall, Downing Street, the so-called press pack, some working for agencies, some directly for individual papers, capturing the personalities behind the issues, politics with a human face.
David Lloyd George, Britain's Prime Minister in the First World War, and Winston Churchill, Prime Minister in the Second, were both leading lights in the new Liberal administration. Lloyd George as Chancellor, Churchill as Chairman of the Board of Trade. From 1906 to 1911, they worked together to draw up a series of welfare reforms, using the government to support people in need in completely new ways. Some have called their reforms the beginning of the welfare state. For children, there would be free schooling to the age of 12, free school meals, medical inspections. For workers, there was a whole package of measures: sick pay, healthcare, unemployment benefit, at least in some trades. Perhaps most importantly, from 1908, a state pension was introduced for all those over 70, sparing the old from the indignity of the soup kitchens. As Lloyd George explained,
"Help for the aged and deserving poor. It is time it was done. It is a shame that a country like ours, probably the richest in the world, should allow those who have toiled all their days to end in poverty and starvation. These are problems the state has neglected for too long."
what was it that motivated the Liberal reformers? To a great extent, it was just social concern. Poverty was a scandal. It begged a humanitarian response. But that wasn't the whole story. The truth was, the Edwardian ruling elite, Conservatives and Liberals alike, saw in poverty a threat to their own interests. They asked, if children were undernourished, where would the next generation of soldiers come from, fit to defend the empire? They asked, if workers were unhealthy, how could Britain remain productive? And the ruling elite feared the anger of a hungry working class. They feared tension as a threat to the social order. In the latter years of the Edwardian period, those tensions were to grow ever more painfully obvious.